of the 49ers. Let's check in downstairs with Jamie Erdahl. Jamie.
Greg, we hear it time and time again from teams, the importance of continuity within an offensive line. Well, unfortunately, both sides dealing with ailments today. I'll start with the 49ers. Joe Staley, left tackle, out with a hamstring. This will be his first missed game since 2010, a true mainstay on this line. For the Jets, center Nick Mangold, we saw him back in the lineup on Monday, but the team placed him on IR for the rest of the season. So once again, Wesley Johnson will center that offensive line for the Jets. Greg?
All right, Jimmy, thank you. The San Francisco 49ers won the toss, and they have deferred, and the Jets will get their hands on the football first. That is Nick Marshall, the designated kick returner for the Jets today. Phil Dawson kicks it off, and this will be Marshall from his own 3. And running room to the outside. Penalty markers fly as he is finally wrestled down and out of bounds in San Francisco territory at about the 43-yard line. Jimmy Ward pushed him out. Now let's check the penalty. Our referee today is Craig Rolstad.
Holding. Receiving team, number 44. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
So here comes Bryce Petty. Second-year quarterback out of Baylor. He's in the driver's seat for the Jets offense. For the rest of this season, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks, and this is only his second NFL start.
Well, and I think it's important that Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator, gets Bryce Petty into a rhythm early. You don't want him just standing in that spot where the defense can tee off on him. I expect the 49ers to put some pressure and see if he can handle that pressure.
Petty with Forte behind him, and Forte gets the carry to about the 14-yard line. On the offensive line, the veteran center Nick Mangold on IR, gone for the season. Wesley Johnson makes his 5th start, and we are as anxious to see as anyone if Bryce Petty can establish a rhythm and a rapport with the Jets' leading receiver, Brandon Marshall.
Well, as he told us yesterday, Greg, he said it's hard to pass up number 15 if he's one-on-one on the outside. He said, I don't want to get caught up trying to force the ball to him too much, but you get him one-on-one, that's a big body to throw to.
Hey, Lawrence, pick in! No, you stay big, you stay big.
Petty in the shotgun now on 2nd and 8. Quick pass, all picked off inside the 15-yard line by Jimmy Ward. His first interception of the season.
Well, just trying to throw hits to the outside. Jimmy Ward sitting all over it. Here's Ward on the outside. He's going to read it and drive on. He got safety help over the top. That's something that you've got to recognize if you're Bryce Petty. You know you've got help over there, so he doesn't have to back up. Just a quick little hitch, trying to get the ball out of his hands quickly. Ward realizing, trying to get the ball out of his hands quick. He was sitting with, like I said, he had the help over the top with the safety back there, so there was no threat of getting run by. Not the way the Jets wanted to start.
That is the first interception this season by a 49er cornerback. Hard to believe.
That is hard to believe, considering how deep into the season we are, Greg.
So here's Colin Kaepernick. 1st and goal from the 7. Kaepernick rolls, throws, complete at the 5, and to the end zone. Carlos Hyde, touchdown.
Points off turnovers is a big thing here. The 49ers take advantage of that interception. Hyde just running out to the flat. Screen not strong enough to bring him down as he reaches that right arm and breaks the goal line as he extends the ball.
Carlos Hyde's 2nd receiving touchdown this season. And Phil Dawson. For a very meaningful extra point for him. With that, he passes Ryan Longwell for the number 15 position in all-time scoring, 1,688th point. Jimmy Ward, the interception of Bryce Petty. and Colin Kaepernick turned it into 7 points. There's Jimmy Ward. It's hard to believe we've had 2 offensive plays in this game, 1 for each side. There's a short kick. It's going to roll out of bounds short of the 15-yard line. Let's go back to that interception.
Well, as a corner, if you know you have help over the top, which is what Jimmy Ward knew he had, he's looking into the backfield. As soon as he sees Bryce Petty take 1 step, he's driving on the football. It's not a matter of reading anything. You know the quarterback is going to get rid of the ball quickly when you only take 1 step, and knowing that he had help behind him, he jumped all over it.
So the penalty will give the Jets an opportunity from their own 40-yard line. Now, I know it's the mantra for quarterbacks. Well, just forget about it. Is that easier said than done?
You know, it's not. That's part of the play in the position. It's 1 snap and clear. No matter if it's a touchdown or interception, you got to get that out of your head and get back to playing.
Forte for about 6 across the 45. Defense for the 49ers. DeForest Buckner has held down 1 defensive end spot, the first-round draft pick from Oregon. At linebacker, Aaron Lynch has missed the last 5 games with a bad ankle, but good enough to go today. And in the secondary, the veteran strong safety Antoine Bethea in his 11th season, team's leading tackler.
Well, we've already seen Forte a couple of times. Expect him to try and run the football, take some of the pressure off of Petty, and also remember the 49ers are struggling with their run defense.
Forte again. Maybe a yard.
Didn't struggle on that one, Greg.
No, Chris Jones with the hit. So it'll be 3rd and 3.
Well, and sometimes if you're Bryce Petty, you get that interception out of the way, and maybe it loosens you up a little bit, and you can, he didn't seem like he was lacking any confidence when we talked to him yesterday. He's been through a lot of challenges in his career at Baylor, so perseverance is something that he's hanged his hat on for quite a while. I got to imagine that's only going to motivate him even more.
Jets have struggled on 3rd down this year. Petty throwing to this side of the field. The dive is not successful. Robbie Anderson reaching for it, couldn't get there, and that'll bring on the punting unit.
Well, that throw was just a little too flat. He's got to give it a little bit more air so Robbie Anderson can adjust to it. He tried putting that too much of a rope, and if you're not in sync with the receiver, that's a difficult ball to complete.
Bryce Petty said he's probably most comfortable throwing to Robbie Anderson because that's pretty much what he's done in practice most of the year.
That's who he had a lot of reps with in the preseason and in training camp. So of all the guys, that's the one he has the most work with.
Jeremy Curley is the ex-New York Jet with the fair catch at his own 19-yard line. So Colin Kaepernick, 1 play, 1 throw, 1 touchdown back on offense when we come back to Levi Stadium.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Amazon Prime. Get free 2-day shipping on millions of items. And by the all-new 2017 Ford Super Duty. This is the next level.
Welcome back, everyone. About 12 and a half to play here in the first quarter. And Carlos Hyde with the carry and breaks through left side and out close to a first down. Let's see where they spot it. Close to the 30-yard line. Calvin Pryor making the stop. Up front for the 49ers, a bad hamstring ends Joe Staley's string of 92 straight starts at left tackle. Zane Beadle slides over from left guard. And running back Carlos Hyde is the San Francisco touchdown maker. He's proved that already. Kaepernick. That's complete. Quentin Patton, and Patton close to midfield for a first down.
Well, I think if you're the 49ers, you still have to go with the game plan that you came in with. You're not anticipating jumping up after 1 play, getting a touchdown lead. So go to the plays that you already had lined up to run as your first 10, your first 15 plays. And you could see that first down was a run up the middle. Now getting back to a play action slant, hitting the window, getting them to midfield.
Give on first down, and Carlos Hyde once again. Hyde to the 20, to the 10, dragged down at the 5. It'll be first and goal. Marcus Gilchrist saved the touchdown.
Well, and as much as anything, the Jets have been struggling with their run defense. Coming into this game, they're 4th in the National Football League in run defense. You can see the lane right through the middle is wide open for Hyde to take it. This 4-game losing stretch that the Jets are on, they're giving up 123 yards a game on the ground. The prior 8 games, 74 yards a game on the ground. So that's been, during this 4-game losing stretch, that's been a big problem for him.
47-yard pickup. Sean Drone in the backfield. Drone straight ahead. Touchdown.
Well, Greg, the embarrassment of last week's loss to Indianapolis seems to have carried over here to the beginning of this game for the Jets. After losing by 31 a week ago to Indianapolis. Rough start here for the Jets.
In talking with Todd Bowles, we were talking about how there has never been any doubt the intensity of Todd Bowles. But he was not pleased after Monday night's game and still hadn't cooled off totally when we talked to him over the weekend. The extra point is good. 14-0 49ers. A reminder for you, your last chance to vote for the 2017 Pro Bowl. Every vote counts. Voting ends Tuesday night. Go to NFL.com/Pro Bowl vote to vote now. Well, the 49ers are kind of getting the best medicine they could possibly ask for to fix their 11-game losing streak.
Well, and Carlos Hyde already 2 rush attempts, 58 yards, and of course the 7-yard reception for a touchdown on the first possession. So getting things rolling on the offensive side for the 49ers.
Nick Marshall, short kick again from Dawson. Marshall from the 7. Hit and hit hard as he crossed the 20-yard line by Jaquiski Tartt. Let's check in with Jamie.
Well, Greg, clearly not the start the Jets offense wanted in this game. When we met with Bryce Petty yesterday, he told us that he made sure to thank Ryan Fitzpatrick leading up to this week on his professionalism and how he's helped him prepare for this second start in his career. I can tell you on that sideline after those last 2 drives, those two are head and head looking at that monitor together. Bryce Petty told us too, he's more of a rep guy. While Fitzpatrick is a playbook guy, he can look at it and get it. He's reps. So at this point, he's just looking to get more snaps under center.
All right, Jamie, thank you. An interception and a 3-and-out on 2 offensive possessions, and Petty throwing and Marilyn Marshall reaching back to make that catch, and the Jets still trying to recover from last week against the Colts, as you mentioned.
Well, the first couple possessions against the Colts last week, their defense has been struggling. Wide open throw that Luck had on the first touchdown, stepping up in the pocket, plenty of time to throw. Very similar to what's going on here today. Bryce Petty has to get it turned around.
Petty pulls it down and can't escape and goes down back at his own 16-yard line. Gerald Hodges, number 51, led the charge for the 49ers.
Trying to push the ball down the field with a quick play fake. 49ers coming on the delayed blitz. You see 4 initially.
That offensive line, as we said, missing Nick Mangold. Wesley Johnson's for him at center, and Breno Giacomini, the right tackle, is out with a calf injury. Brent Qualley is in at right tackle for the Jets, number 79.
Well, if you're Petty here, you can't try and force it. You know you got to get a large chunk of yardage here, but also have to be smart with the football.
Petty with time. Dumps it off to Bilal Powell out of the backfield. Powell changing direction, gets it across the 25 to the 26-yard line. That won't be close enough. And the Jets will kick it away. Started to say off of that Monday night game, the first reaction Todd Bowles had, he said that he was disappointed in the effort. Then he backtracked a little bit on that. He told us that he looked at the film and the effort was fine, but there were lots of mistakes.
Yeah, he mentioned that. He said, you know, sometimes your emotions, you get to that press conference, and he mentioned the effort part, but actually the wording he uses after watching the tape, it was more stupidity than effort.
This is Curley. And Curley back to about the 30-yard line. And Josh Martin making the stop. Colin Kaepernick ready to do battle again.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by McDonald's. I'm loving it. And by Intel. Upgrade to a new PC with powerful performance.
Kaepernick and the 49ers at their own 30-yard line, just under 8.5 to play here in the first quarter. And Kaepernick under pressure, escapes, on the move. Penalty marker is thrown as he runs out of bounds at about the 31 or 32-yard line.
Holding. Defense, number 41. That's a 5-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
That penalty is on Buster Screen, and it gives the 49ers a first down. On the D-line, bad hamstring sideline Steve McClendon again this week. Sheldon Richardson moves from linebacker to the line. That gives Mike Catapano the start at linebacker. He is in his 4th season out of Princeton. And safety Calvin Pryor returns to the lineup. Strong safety. He missed the Monday night loss to the Colts with concussion symptoms.
Well, you can see the escapability that Colin Kaepernick he still has, even though he struggled some with the passing game. Not today with the passing game, but so far this season he's had some struggles. But his elusiveness, his ability to take off and run is something defensive coordinator Casey Rogers told us they have to keep in check.
Kaepernick on the seam. He's got his man, tight end Blake Bell. To the Jet 33 and a first down.
Well, this is a perfectly thrown ball from Kaepernick. He just gets Bell in that second window. He's able to drop it over the top of the linebackers in front of the safeties. That's a perfectly placed throw.
That's a 30-yard pickup.
49ers rushing up to the line and give the appearance of going to snap the ball quick.
Hyde, or maybe one, Jordan Jenkins, the rookie linebacker out of Georgia.
Good job by Jenkins, not giving up on the play. He was rushing upfield and actually peeled back as Hyde tried making that cut. Not quitting on the play, coming up with the tackle.
This 49ers team won their opening game this year, and they haven't won since. Kaepernick. This is Quentin Patton, and Patton bumped out of bounds hard at about the 32. And that was Jenkins again making the play on defense for the Jets.
Well, Curley was just working behind the line of scrimmage there. When the ball was snapped, he was actually behind the left tackle. So he was able to sneak his way out into the flat. Just good reaction by the Jets defense that time.
So 3rd and 9 for the 49ers. Here come the Jets. Kaepernick got rid of it. One-handed grab by Patton, but he won't get near the first down marker as Justin Burris made the tackle. And we have the center, Daniel Kilgore, down in the middle of the field for the San Francisco 49ers. So they will look at him. We will take a timeout with 5:53 to play in the first. Daniel Kilgore able to limp off the field with a little assistance. Meanwhile, Phil Dawson lines up a 44-yard field goal attempt. Kick on its way, and he pulled it to the left. So the usually reliable Phil Dawson couldn't get that one through the uprights.
We're going to take a look back at the injury to Kilgore. Well, first we're going to look at the missed field goal.
And he's still going to miss it, Trent. For Dawson, only his second missed field goal of the year. So here's Bryce Petty and the Jets from their own 39-yard line, and the pitch for Powell, and not much near at all.
Well, that's going to be an important thing here, is for the Jets to get something going on the ground, take some of the pressure off of Petty. I know that's what they initially wanted to come into anyway. They didn't want to put it all on his shoulders, but the way this thing has started off, down by 14, you will have to be a little bit more aggressive with the play calling and start pushing some things down the field. If you think of the number of throws that the Jets have had so far, Petty really hasn't pushed the ball downfield, and that's something that's a strong suit of his, is his ability to throw it down the field.
Earlier this season, the 49ers had a 14-0 first quarter lead against the Tampa Bay Bucks, ended up losing that game. And around, Robbie Anderson getting a block across the 45 and out to about the 49-yard line, and that's a first down for the Jets. Let's go down to Jamie.
Greg, we saw Bilal Powell in the backfield for the Jets those last two plays. That's because Matt Forte had his right knee being worked on during the last defensive series for the Jets. He had some kind of gel rubbed on the back of his calf and that right knee, so we'll see if he'll come back in here for the Jets.
Thanks, Jamie. Talking with Matt Forte, it's like talking to a librarian. You know,
he's very mild-mannered. Heck of a player. It'd be a big loss for the Jets if he's not able to come back in. But yes, his approach and his demeanor, you wouldn't think he's as devastating a player as he is.
Petty pulls it down and now directing traffic and throws to the sideline, and that is a completion to the tight end Brandon Boston. Bryce Petty's a long ball guy, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He has the arm to do that, and we can take a look at the scouting report. Better recognition of coverage. I go back to the game against Atlanta. There were a couple plays that could have been intercepted, so he's just got to get quicker recognition. You see the arm to make all the throws and overlooked athleticism. That's something that he did a lot at Baylor, was run the football and was elusive in the pocket to pick up those extra yards. So keep an eye on that the rest of the game as well.
Petty now on 2nd and 7, and Bilal Powell alongside him in the backfield. Going to give it to him. Jumps to the outside, cuts back in to about the 45 of the 49ers, and it'll be 3rd and about 4.
Well, the 49ers are trying to mix things up defensively. They brought some pressure with linebackers in the middle. That time they showed both linebackers in the A gaps. They were going to try rushing inside the center and guard gaps, and they both dropped out into coverage, and Jimmy Ward actually was in that left slot and blitzed off the slot. Powell did a good job of avoiding him and picking up some positive yards.
It'd probably do young Mr. Petty a world of good to get a first down here. Looking right, going to pull it down and run, and tripped up before he got anywhere near a first down. DeForest Buckner, number 99.
Well, it's a good mix-up by defensive coordinator Jim O'Neill of the 49ers. Watt says they're only going to rush 3. They drop 8 into coverage, and 5 of those 8 are right at the first down marker. So the Jets, with the play call they had in place, receivers were just trying to get to the sticks, but there was no lane there for Bryce Petty to try and squeeze the ball into.
Lachlan Edwards set to kick it away, and Jeremy Curley back inside his own 10. And makes the call for the fair catch at the 11-yard line. Just under 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. That has been dominated by the San Francisco 49ers, 14-0. Minute 58 to play here in the first quarter. And these San Francisco 49ers have had themselves a tough season. Well, first look at how far back they go. They lose in the Super Bowl to the Baltimore Ravens. Then Jim Harbaugh departed for the University of Michigan. Jim Tomsula replaced him. Aldon Smith had his troubles here, and he was released. Then the Kaepernick-Gabbert battle at quarterback. Kaepernick keeping it up the middle and out to the 25 for a first down. And that is the one thing that all parties are aware of, that Colin Kaepernick can run and run well.
Well, and Jordan Jenkins was the outside linebacker coming off the edge, and that's all Kaepernick was reading. Is Jenkins didn't collapse. He went after Hyde, and Kaepernick pulled it and got the big gain.
8 first downs for the 49ers to 1 for the Jets. Kaepernick on the move again. Looking, and finally dumps it off to Quentin Patton, and Patton is out of bounds across the 30 to about the 31, 32-yard line. By the way, Daniel Kilgore, the center who was injured a few minutes ago, we're told will not return today. Marcus Martin has replaced Kilgore at center, and Andrew Tiller has replaced Martin at left guard. On 2nd and 4, this is Hyde, up the sideline and across midfield and into Jets territory. Marcus Gilchrist cut him down, but that's a 20-yard gain and another first down.
Carlos Hyde picking up from last week. That was one of the few bright spots against the Bears a week ago. Carlos Hyde had 92 yards rushing. He's been over 100 yards one time this season, earlier this year against Seattle. Well on his way to 100 yards today.
And we got a timeout on the field, the New York Jets. Need a breather. So Colin Kaepernick with things going well so far this afternoon. Boy, he's a story all by himself, is he not, in the National Football League? Took the knee as usual, along with Eli Harold during the national anthem. His parents came out in big support of him this week and what he does.
Well, and you can see his numbers on the day. Started off very well after the interception by Bryce Petty. Set him up down inside the 10-yard line. Took advantage of it with the touchdown pass on the first play to Carlos Hyde out in the right flat, and has continued that success here as the 49ers jumped out to a 14-point lead. Still has yet to throw an incompletion.
Kaepernick on the slant has his man wide open over the middle, Jeremy Curley, and Curley out of bounds at about the 22 or 21-yard line.
Curley's going to be lined up against Buster Skrine in the left slot, number 17. You see him go up, just give a little juke to the inside. No inside help for Skrine, so it becomes a foot race at that point. Good accurate placement by Kaepernick to give him yards after catch, and Curley having the speed to get it.
And with that time winds down here in the first quarter, it is all 49ers to this point. The Bryce Petty interception led to the first points of the day, and the 49ers lead it by 2 touchdowns as we go to the second. 14-0 San Francisco. We're coming back right after this. Welcome back to Levi Stadium for the start of the second quarter. In a game that has been dominated thus far by the 49ers. Colin Kaepernick, 7 out of 7 for 95 yards and a touchdown. And the Niners at the Jet 22. Kaepernick throwing it this side of the field and incomplete, threw it away as he was under pressure. Let's check in with Jamie.
Greg, with just 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, we saw Matt Forte getting worked on the sideline on his right knee. As I said, the trainers, the medical staff were looking and they were rubbing this gel on his right knee. He tried to go back, try to do some things on the sideline, but he has been ruled out of this game.
Boy, the hits just keep on coming for Todd Bowles, don't they?
Yeah, that's a tough one to overcome. Obviously, Bilal Powell is going to be carrying the load today.
Carlos Hyde, spun down at the 21-yard line, so it'll be 3rd and 9.
There's Casey Rogers, defensive coordinator for the Jets. He told us yesterday, he said, listen, it wasn't a lack of effort. It was a matter of day one installation mistakes. It was too many mental mistakes at key points of the game. Those mistakes must be continuing today. The 49ers with 194 yards of offense in the first quarter alone.
So here's Kaepernick on 3rd and 9. Under pressure. Can't get away. Brought down back at the 32-yard line by Marcus Williams. having missed the last 3 games with an ankle injury. Marcus Williams back and gets his first sack of the year.
Well, and really, that's the only mistake Colin Kaepernick has made the entire day. He's been so efficient, 7 of 8 throwing, and he's done a good job with his decisions in the run game. But when you're 3rd and long like that and you take a 10-yard sack or 8-yard sack, all of a sudden you're making a much more difficult field goal attempt.
This one from 48 yards out. He missed from 44. And he pushed that one to the right. Phil Dawson came into this game having made 17 of 18 field goal attempts. He's 0 for 2 today. Phil Dawson trying to figure out what's going wrong with his kicking game here so far today. Missed a 44 and a 48-yarder, both of them long enough but not accurate enough. Bilal Powell around the left side. Not much there as he gets across the 40 to about the 41. Is the AFC playoff picture as we know it now, with New England and Kansas City leading the way. Pittsburgh in charge in the north, and Houston, by virtue of their win over the Colts today, in charge in the south. Oakland and Denver holding the wild card spots.
Well, in Miami getting hot here the last 7-8 weeks of the season here. Get back at 8-5, knocking on the door of the wild card spot.
On 2nd and 6, this is Powell again, and Powell with a first down to midfield and into San Francisco territory to the 48.
Well, I've tried to watch here the last couple series, Greg, as the Jets take the field. You sometimes want to watch the players' demeanor as they come back out on the field when things have struggled as they have for the Jets. And the offensive line for the Jets, both series, have sprinted onto the field to get out into the huddle. And you can see they have almost sending a message to their coaching staff, hey, if we're struggling with getting the ball down the field in the passing game, let's start running the ball and get physical with the guys up front. They've shown it the last 2 plays.
Only the 2nd first down for the Jets today. Powell again. And a 3rd straight rush. Gains about a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
When you have to start thinking this part of the field, do you stick with the run game on 2nd down, or you try to get a play action pass? You've had some effectiveness with the run. Try and get a play action pass and take that big throw down the field that they've been waiting for.
Petty got rid of it, and it's complete to Austin Safarian Jenkins, the tight end. And that's a first down to the 35-yard line.
Very impressive, Bryce Petty, keeping his composure here with the blitzing linebacker in the middle, coming untouched. He just was backing up. Actually not a linebacker, just coming off on it, making the hit.
DeForest Buckner.
DeForest Buckner having a heck of a rookie season. But Petty off the back foot with an accurate throw, getting him another first down.
Yeah. Maybe not.
So Bilal Powell, the workhorse in the backfield now, but Petty keeping, throwing, and that is complete to Robbie Anderson and out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. You were talking about how well those Miami Dolphins have been going, but word out of Miami is that Ryan Tannehill may have suffered a knee injury.
Well, that
today.
would be significant for the Dolphins, a big blow to them and their late season push here to try and get back in playoff contention.
Thanks, 8 to 50.
I think it's always interesting. Sometimes it's not the best team that advances, but the healthiest.
That's right. It's that time of year.
On 2nd and 3, this is Powell. And hit hard by Gerald Hodges at about a yard shy of a first down. So it'll be 3rd and 1.
Well, and if you're content on going for it on 4th down, if you've already sent that message, this is a play where you could get a hard play fake and try and get one over the top. You got the extra tight end, you got the fullback in, you got Marshall one-on-one to the top.
The pitch for Powell. Powell has the first down as he dives inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. You mentioned earlier, the best thing that could happen for Bryce Petty today is a strong run game.
That would be very helpful for him, and especially with the way that things have started off here. If they can get some balance to the offense, you can utilize some play fake. You saw the quick flash fake and then the flip to the outside. You get the defense to collapse, get all those bodies trapped on the inside, able to pick up that first down.
Brandon Wiles, newly signed, is in the backfield. Rookie free agent out of South Carolina. And he gets the handoff, tries the left side, and not much running room there. Line of scrimmage will be about the 21. DeForest Buckner, who has really been active, and 49ers awfully pleased with his play this year, his rookie year.
They've been very happy with him, not only in his pass rushing, which we just saw him hit Petty a few plays ago, but also with his run defense. He's been an all-around player for them on that front line. One of the bright spots on the defense this season.
Hey, push!
Pass to the near side, and that's Quincy Enunwa, and Enunwa to about the 18. 49er defense looking quick today.
Yeah, Buster Screen leaving the field, it looks like, for the Jets, going back to the locker room to get checked out. But you're right, Greg, the defense has been flying sideline to sideline, especially Gerald Hodges, the linebacker, the middle linebacker, he's been making plays all over the place.
Here's a 3rd and 4 for Petty.
Apple! Run! Loaded the 50! Loaded Apple!
Petty throwing, overthrows Quincy Enunwa. He was covered closely on the near side of the field by Jaquasti Tart.
Well, Petty once again under pressure. This is just a throwaway. He realizes that he's about to go down, just lays it to the outside, throws it away. Jones up the middle.
So here's Nick Folk looking to put the Jets on the board from 36 yards out. Lachlan Edwards will hold. And that one is good. 7.5 to play here in the first half. First points of the day for the New York Jets. The 49ers lead at 14-3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Audi. K Jewelers. For 100 years, every kiss begins with K. And by Straight Talk Wireless. Best phones, best networks, half the cost.
I'll be honest, I wish I had my motion sickness medication. That's one of the many thrill rides at California's Great American Theme Park next door to Levi's Stadium. It's called Flight Deck. Can't imagine why.
We just had our own virtual reality roller coaster ride.
Ja'Cory Shepard will not return this one, and the touchback will bring the ball out to the 25-yard line. A reminder for you, tomorrow on CBS, Deck the Halls, and don't miss the holiday episode of TV's #1 new comedy, Kevin Can Wait. It's all new tomorrow at 8, 7 Central, only CBS. So Buster Screen is gone, and Justin Burris has replaced him at cornerback. As you take a look at the last 4 games, have just been a nightmare for Casey Rogers, the defensive coordinator for the Jets. This is Carlos Hyde. Hyde turning the right corner and breaking free down the sideline and out of bounds short of the 30-yard line.
Vance McDonald's walking off the field for the 49ers. He's injured. He's 89 right there. Comes around on the backside to try and crack back on that block. And you see Hyde well over 100 yards now.
Vance McDonald just this week signed a 5-year contract extension with these 49ers.
Holding that left arm rather gingerly against his body.
We'll look for word on him. Meanwhile, 43-yard gain. Kaepernick got rid of it. Jeremy Curley. And Curley out of bounds pushed out by David Harris.
Calvin Pryor bringing the pressure, coming off the right edge there, forcing Kaepernick to throw that ball quicker than need be, but there was some confusion in the backfield for the 49ers. You see the two guys collide into each other, Curley being one of them, able to keep his feet and come up with that catch.
52. 52. Push it.
2nd and 10.
Hey, game. Hey, go.
This is grown inside the 30 to about the 29. What's the longest losing streak you ever had to deal with as a player?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. I was on that Miami team in 2007. I went on IR after the 4th game, but we finished 1-15 that year. So that was a long stretch, and those are difficult to overcome. Those are just the mental pain of as I said, because I was on IR, but I was there every day, and just seeing the guys go through it. That's a tough stretch. You just have to stay mentally strong, mentally focused.
Here come the Jets. Kaepernick throwing. It is incomplete. Curley couldn't bring it down. So on 4th down once again.
That's a throw that if you can flatten and leave to the outside and let Curley run through it as opposed to floating it over the top. Now, got to give Kaepernick the fact that he had the pressure coming on him. He had to drift back, wasn't able to set his feet and make a more accurate throw.
Here's Phil Dawson from 47 yards out. He's never missed more than 2 field goals in a game. And this one's right down the middle. 49ers answer the Jets field goal with one of their own. 5:45 to play in the first half, 17-3. 5 minutes, 45 seconds to play in the first half of a game that has been dominated by the San Francisco 49ers. They won opening day, beating the Rams 28-0. They haven't won since. Nick Marshall is deep. Marshall from the goal line. And across the 25 to about the 26-yard line, Rod Streeter making the hit. The quarterback position has been something different, and not in a good way. Ryan Fitzpatrick weeks 1 through 6, Geno Smith week 7, and then injury brought Ryan Fitzpatrick back until he was hurt. Petty came on in week 10. And then Fitzpatrick again in weeks 12 and 13. And then Todd Bowles says it'll be Bryce Petty the rest of the way.
Well, Greg, you could even take that back into the offseason when Fitzpatrick wasn't signed and they're trying to make a decision on a long-term deal or a one-year deal, and ultimately he was signed right before the start of training camp.
And this is going to go against
Ball
the Jets.
Start. Offense, number 83, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Eric Tomlinson, the guilty party. There's Ryan Fitzpatrick, who Bryce Petty says he could not have been more helpful all week long.
He was very complimentary of Ryan Fitzpatrick and how much help he's given him, helping him with the mental part of the game. He said, I want to get to the point where I'm like Ryan Fitzpatrick in the mental part of it and the preparation part of it, knowing what the defensive adjustments are going to be, getting to the line of scrimmage, getting the team into the right play, getting through progressions faster. He was very complimentary of Ryan Fitzpatrick in that aspect.
Go!
On 1st and 15, Petty with time pulls it down, going to run it, and out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. But you look at this New York Jets team, Trent, and you say to yourself, they're more talented, and I remember, Bill Parcells with his famous line, "You are what your record says you are." But you look at the talent on this team, and you go, they've got to be better than what they've shown.
Well, it is. It's amazing. You sit here and you look at the guys on the front line, the defensive line with Wilkerson and Sheldon Richardson, and why aren't they doing a better job here the last month of the season against the run? And then you have Revis on the back end and Screen on the back end. It's like, why all of a sudden haven't they been able to be more effective against the pass? And it's one that makes you scratch your head.
Petty with time and overthrows his intended receiver, Robbie Anderson. Well, there's no question Bryce Petty has a big enough arm.
He does. We were watching him during pregame warm-up, and he had some of those jitters early on in warm-up. We were talking about he wasn't connecting as much, and but he was making all the throws. He throws with great velocity. You can see the timing on that one just wasn't there. We would have liked to have held on to the ball a little bit longer. Just the pressure. You had to release it earlier, and he released it a little bit too high.
3rd and 6 for Petty and the Jets.
Pocket! Ample pocket! Pocket! Go!
With time, now runs out of time and goes down at the 22. That is Jimmy Ward. There have been a bunch of defensive standouts for the 49ers today, and Jimmy Ward is one of them, along with Gerald Hodges and DeForest Buckner.
They load 8 guys, 7 guys at the line of scrimmage. They drop everybody out to the right, and they bring everybody from the left. That overloads things. You see 2 of the Jets offensive linemen sitting there blocking air because there was no one there. They overloaded that backside. Bryce Petty's got to be aware of that.
Curley with the fair catch call and made it about the 40-yard line. We're down to 4:23 to play. In the first half, you're watching the NFL on CBS.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. And by Macy's.
4:23 to play in the first half, and good field position for the 49ers as you look at San Francisco's first 5 possessions. 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and missed scoring opportunities on the other 2.
Well, that's why this is such a crucial possession for the Jets defense, is to get the 49ers off the field and try and give their offense some kind of field position.
And all kinds of movement up front.
False start. Offense. Number 77. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Trent Brown, the right tackle, guilty. Down to Jamie.
Greg, 2 injuries to report. One for the Jets. We saw Buster Skrine walking to the locker room. He is being evaluated for a concussion. And tight end Vance McDonald for the Niners. He went to the locker room already. He was in a lot of pain after he left during that last drive from a left shoulder injury. He might have just gone back to receive treatment before going into the half, but I'll update you later.
All right, Jamie, thank you. 1st and 15 for San Francisco, the first 49er penalty of the afternoon.
Hey, Mike's 50. Mike's 50. No. Hey, go.
Carlos Hyde, he breaks free on the right side. Across midfield into Jets territory for a first down. Darren Lee brought him down after an 18-yard pickup.
Let's give credit to the offensive line of the 49ers. Trent Brown over on that side. Joshua Garnett, the right guard, collapsing things down, giving Hyde the opportunity to get through there. Garrett Selleck kicking things out, providing the lane for Hyde. Now already with 141 yards rushing.
Hyde takes a breather. Sean Drone in the backfield. Kaepernick going down at the 45-yard line. Jordan Jenkins the first to hit him.
Jordan Jenkins has been very disruptive today, Greg. He's been all over the field. One of the few Jets defenders that's been involved continually in the backfield.
One of the questions that I wanted to ask Todd Bowles and did when we met with him, said you can understand mistakes of 1 or 2 guys, but how do you explain the whole team going bad? He said, I don't know.
54. 54. 54. Hey, Ray, go.
On 2nd and 18, this is Drone. And across midfield to the 48 of the Jets. And the Jets on defense, and it hasn't been pretty.
Well, Hyde, as we mentioned, has been very effective running the football. The offensive line of the 49ers has been controlling things. Kaepernick very accurate up the field. Some confusion on that side of the ball.
And coming into this season, the Jet defense was considered to be one of the elite defenses.
That was the strong point of this team. That was especially the front 4.
Hey, base 52.
3rd and 12.
Hey, Ray, go.
Kaepernick on the move and ended up throwing it away before he lost a ton of yardage. Leonard Williams, Sheldon Richardson applying pressure.
Well, and that's what the Jets needed right there. It's not going to provide them very much field position because the 49ers were able to get that big run by Hyde, and then now it gets them around midfield. So unless they get a big return out of this, but they're forcing the first punt of the day by the 49ers.
Nick Marshall back at his own 10. Bounce and downed at the 12-yard line. I thought for a second that might have touched a New York Jet.
There's a flag back up here towards midfield right around the 42.
Here's Craig Rolstad.
Holding. Receiving team number 95 during the kick. That penalty is half the distance to the goal from the end of the kick. First down.
So that penalty is on Josh Martin, but here is the kick. Sharon Peak, number 17 there. The ball bounces and
clearly didn't touch him, but it got the crowd into it a little bit.
And clearly he heard it bounce behind him too.
Right. Oh, well, that penalty hurts Bryce Petty here. You got the 2-minute warning and a couple of timeouts. You thought maybe you could get the 2-minute offense working, but now all the way down inside the 6-yard line. You got to be very careful with the football in this situation.
Even. Rocket.
So Petty from his own 6. Pulls it down, now throws, and it is caught across the 20-yard line by Brandon Bostic, the tight end.
I don't know about you, Greg. I thought he was going to take off and run there. It was a heck of a fire up the field and better catch by Brock.
2 minutes to play in a first half that has belonged to the 49ers. We mentioned at the very top of the day it'd be interesting to see if Bryce Petty establishes the same kind of rapport with Brandon Marshall that Ryan Fitzpatrick had. The answer is not yet.
Go!
That one over the middle. It is caught by Quincy Enunwa. Oh my goodness!
I'm with you. There was a question mark at the end of that. I thought that was, I thought that was going the other direction. I thought Tart was going to take that. He brings that in with one hand.
Wow.
Maybe going to be a replay here, or review.
The previous play is under review.
I think they just want to see how the heck that happened. 1:39 to play. How'd this happen, Trent?
Well, he's able to extend this hand out, and Enunwa does, and watch it, he tips it back to himself, and he's able to gather it and roll over, and he gets his back on the ground, so the ball never hits the ground. This is going to remain a completion.
You know, Tart looked like he was planning on going the other way, too. It just didn't get there.
Oh, he was already planning that touchdown celebration at that point in time. You see, that's an incredible catch by Enunwa. Incredible just to get his hand on it, let alone tip it back towards himself and control it, and then roll over and get his body underneath it so the ball doesn't make contact with the ground.
And I thought we saw a little of that arm strength that we've been talking about that Bryce Petty has. That's a 16-yard pickup.
See how he gets that right elbow and shoulder to roll underneath, so he's able to control the ball without it touching the ground at all. Officials are still looking at the play. My guess is more to deal with the amount of time on the play clock.
Here's Craig Rolstad.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. It was a catch. It'll be first down and 10, New York Jets.
So the Jets will be at their 36-yard line. A reminder coming up, the Verizon Halftime Report. JB and the guys for all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. You know, their bread and butters. Now they're going to start doing matchups and playoffs. And who's got the edge here and there and what happens here and there.
Banana!
I'm sure they'll cover that Tennessee-Denver game. That had a lot of bearing in my playoff picture today.
Rocket. Go.
Petty, sideline. Bullet caught by Robbie Anderson to midfield. And that'll be another first down. Clock continues to move. And now timeout is called by the Jets. They use their second.
You talked about the arm strength there, Greg. The wide side of the field come back. Threw that ball early.
But it hasn't been all peaches and cream for Bryce Petty.
No, the initial play of the game, that first pass, Ward sitting on it, getting the interception, and then, of course, the pressure. 49ers talked to us about that. They said they wanted to make him uncomfortable back there. Don't just let him sit back there and fire it around the field. And you can see the pressure they've been able to get on him today.
Sacked 3 times. He has the pick. Kaepernick has the touchdown pass.
Load it to 50. Brick. All right, yeah, 57, you got him. Go.
3-man rush. This is Powell out of the backfield. And Powell looking for the sideline. And he is run out at about the 48. 111.
Not a whole lot out of that play, Greg, but you get out of bounds, it stops the clock and lets you save that last timeout. Still a minute left here to go before half as you see folk over there getting warmed up.
We kind of enjoyed talking with Bryce Petty about his penchant back at Baylor for throwing the long ball, and he said that's basically his check down.
That is. You go through the progression, and he would just launch it. He had a tremendous career at Baylor, and we have yet to see him really take it down the field today.
How about this one? For Robbie Anderson. Incomplete. Robbie Anderson turned into defensive back. Richard Robinson was covering.
Robinson's in position here. This is just a straight go route. Good air on the ball, good placement. There's not a lot of room to work with on the sideline. As Robbie Anderson was getting squeezed to the sideline by Robinson, not leaving much of a box to throw it into.
And then Anderson came back to break up what would have been a shot at an interception.
Watch the shit.
3rd and 8. Petty pulls it down and is going to go down for the 4th time today. At his own 46, Ronald Blair and Aaron Lynch combining to take the Jets quarterback to the turf.
Well, and Petty was trying to get to Brandon Marshall. He was just working the middle of the field, trying to find a window in there, and just not enough time to get to it. As you see the pressure by Blair and ultimately the sack.
The Jets just 1 out of 6 on 3rd down today. And Curley is deep. Fair catch called for and made by Curley at his own 10-yard line with 52 seconds to play in the first half. A reminder, the Verizon halftime report. JB and the rest of the troops for all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon halftime report.
I would imagine the 49ers are just going to run the ball here. They do still have the 2 timeouts. They've had some effectiveness running the football, so see if you can get another big run up the middle before you decide if you're going to call those. Be very conservative with your play calling here.
San Francisco with 169 rushing yards so far. That's the most Jets have allowed in the first half in 25 years. They have been shredded on the ground today. Kaepernick over the middle, complete across the 15 to Jeremy Curley. Clock continues to move. San Francisco has 2 timeouts remaining. Phil Dawson hoping to get another shot before the half expires. Kaepernick, that's complete to the 25-yard line to Curley. And they will use a timeout to stop the clock here with 24 seconds to play.
Well, so much for being conservative based on the field position they have. The first play they come out, they go empty. Nobody in the backfield with Kaepernick trying to get it up the field, just hitting the check down. Then on second down, they move drone from the left slot back into the backfield with Kaepernick.
Trent, if you haven't won since opening day, you might get a little greedy on offense.
You do. And knowing the aggressiveness that Chip Kelly has and how quickly this offense can score, you can understand why he's trying to push it up the field.
24 seconds left. San Francisco and the Jets each with one timeout remaining.
Hey, base 36. Base 36. Hey,
Kaepernick over the middle, and that one was just too hard for Curley to handle. We've been talking about Petty's arm. Kaepernick can let it go.
He can as well, and right here, if this completion is made, that's a catch you have to make right through your hands. It's a hard catch considering how hard he was throwing it, as you said, Greg, but if he catches that ball, there's not a lot behind him. Patton was on the left outside and had taken two defenders out of there, leaving that entire sideline to run up.
2nd and 10, 19 to play. And Kaepernick has this one complete across the 30 to the 32 and another timeout. And the 49ers use their third and final timeout with 14 seconds to play.
Well, and now whatever you come up with, you're going to have to try and get out of bounds with only 14 seconds left, like you said, Greg, using that last timeout. You can either try and pick up an extra 10 yards or so and then try and launch one to the end zone, or if you want to get a big chunk of yardage, whatever you decide to do, you have to get out of bounds if you want to try and get one final play before the half.
Chip Kelly says not everything has been totally negative in this losing streak. He thought, we were here 3 weeks ago, he thought they played very well against the New England Patriots, and they did.
They did. It went into a 3-point game going into the fourth quarter. So they've, even though they do have this losing streak, they feel better about the progress the team has made along the way.
Rome going to run it on 3rd down, and he's across the 40 as a first down, but that will bring the first half to an end.
Well, and you also got to consider the amount of injuries they have on the defensive side of the ball.
It is halftime. Bryce Petty's start hasn't gone as planned so far. 17-3 49ers. Back with the Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. This is the NFL on CBS. Quick pass, all picked off inside the 15. 5 and to the end zone. Carlos Hyde, touchdown. Drone straight ahead, touchdown. Welcome back to Levi Stadium. The 49ers with a 17-3 lead on the New York Jets as we get set for the second half. Greg Gumbel along with Trent Green. There is nothing predictable about the National Football League. What is predictable, though, is the New York Jets could count on a team being very hungry for a win, and that's the 49ers.
And that's exactly how the 49ers play, especially when you look at the way they ran the football. Carlos Hyde, incredible numbers in the first half running the football. Offensive line really controlling things for the 49ers. Because of Dawson's 2 missed field goals, really those first 5 possessions, they were in position to score. 49ers only punted 1 time in the first half. As
you look at the stats from the first half, it's incredible to see how many rushing yards the New York Jets have surrendered in the first half.
That has been amazing, and for the Jets, they need to get some rhythm going for Bryce Petty. Not the best start in the world when you throw an interception on your first pass, but they really haven't given him any time when you consider the 49ers have sacked him 4 times.
Let's go down to Jamie.
Greg, I caught up with Chip Kelly going into the half in pretty good spirits with the lead his team has now. He was complimentary of Colin Kaepernick's accuracy in the first half. Unfortunately for them, though, and for Kaepernick, he will be without tight end Vance McDonald now the rest of the game. We saw him go to the locker room just before the half with a shoulder injury. Also in the Jets secondary, cornerback Buster Skrine was being evaluated for a concussion, and he is out for the game.
All right, Jamie, thank you. Colin Kaepernick, 11 of 15 in the first half, and they will get their hands on the football first here in the second half. Follow your favorite team all season long. Go to itunes.com/NFL. So Nick Foles set to kick it away. Ja'Cory Shepherd and DeJuan Harris are back for the 49ers. 14-point lead and the football to start the second half. returnable. Shepard from just inside his own 5-yard line. And to the 25. And we have a Jet down at the 21.
Please welcome 49ers Kids Club member Travis Murdoch.
That appears to be number 21, Marcus Gilchrist. Gilchrist there on right.
It's Gilchrist.
It's a non-contact injury. We'll be back. You see Marcus Gilchrist being loaded onto the cart to be wheeled off to more medical help. The 6-year veteran out of Clemson. Let's take another look and see what happened.
He goes to make a cut right here to plant, and you just see that right knee buckle as he goes down, a non-contact. And hate to speculate, but anytime they bring the cart out, you can't put any weight on it. That's a scary deal. And as Jamie mentioned, Buster Skrine is out of the game in the concussion protocol, so that's 2 of the secondary for the Jets out of this ball game. 2 of the starters.
Rontez Miles, the 2nd-year DB out of California, PA, will replace him. And Kaepernick throwing incomplete at the 40-yard line, intended for Blake Bell. So they come out throwing, but boy, did the 49ers run the ball well in the first half, right?
Yeah, Carlos Hyde was able to have several big runs, chunk yardage. His longest run of the half was 47 yards, but when you consider 141 yards rushing, see the lanes, the offensive line, give the offensive line credit. Most of those runs, he's not even getting touched until he's a good 15, 20 yards down the field. Look at that, 20 yards average.
Hyde to the 30.
Well, and I mentioned the offensive line, and it's an offensive line that's dealing with injuries of its own. No Joe Staley today. They're all pro left tackle. Daniel Kilgore, their starting center, has been out of the game with an injury earlier, so there's been a lot of shuffling going on up front, but they've controlled the line of scrimmage.
50 is down. 50 is down. 52 is the ball.
This is a 3rd and 5.
Hey, Ralph. Read it out. Hey, Rice, come!
Kaepernick wafting it down the sideline. That's incomplete. He had to get rid of it, and so that'll bring the punting unit on.
Well, that's exactly what the Jets defense needed coming out this first series after half, is to get a stop, get him off the field as we take another look at Carlos Hyde.
Eight carries for 146 yards. Oh, his yards per rush dropping like a rock, Trent.
Dropped from 20 down to 18 after that last carry. Come on.
Nick Marshall, fair catch call. And made at about the 24-yard line. So that's where the Jets will get started. A reminder for you, Week 14 continues with Sunday Night Football on NBC, Monday Night Football on ESPN, then Week 15 kicks off with Thursday Night Football on NBC, NFL Network, and streaming on Twitter.
Bryce Petty getting ready to get the second half going here. 10 of 15 in the first half, 84 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. He was sacked 4 times, so they need to give him some more time back in the pocket.
This is Powell continuing the workload with Matt Forte out for the game. Out to the 30-yard line. At halftime, is a coach more likely to tell his quarterback what he's been doing right or what he's been doing wrong?
Oh, I think it's more about just trying to get the offense going better. I think it's just more about trying to get some continuity, get some first downs. They were only 1 of 7 on 3rd down. So we have another 49er player down on the ground.
That's Gerald Hodges. This is just becoming way too common a sight, right?
Well, it has been. A lot more injuries, it appears. And as of Glenn Dorsey limping a little bit. Hodges up on his feet.
And bouncing. That's a good thing.
But to get back to your comment about what did the Jets do at halftime and what did they talk to Bryce Petty about, and I think it's really more about some continuity and some rhythm. You want to start getting, some first downs. They didn't have, 120, not even 120 yards at halftime, and it's just more about getting plays and getting reps and learning from those things, and that just wasn't the case in the first half.
Michael Wilhoit has replaced Hodges on the field. This is Powell again. And Powell to about the 33-yard line. There are clearly some things the Jets need to get going on offense, not the least of which is Brandon Marshall, who still has just one catch for 4 yards today. And we have another player on the turf. That is number 82, Brandon Bostic, the Jet tight end. This is quickly becoming a war of attrition.
Bostic 82 right in the middle of your picture there.
Oof.
Takes a knee to the back of the left knee, and then a 49er player rolling up on his legs. Looks like Buckner is the one that got on the back of his legs.
So there's time out on the field, and we'll take a break and come back in just a moment.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Charles Schwab. And by Honda. Hurry in for great deals during Happy Honda Days.
Back at Levi Stadium, it's a third down and a yard for the Jets. Powell in the backfield. Powell with the handoff and gets the first down across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Meanwhile, the injuries beginning to pile up for the Jets. Matt Forte out with the right knee. Buster Skrine, concussion. Marcus Gilchrist, who was just carted off with the right knee injury, will not return.
Well, we just saw right before that graphic, there's Brandon Bostic having his shoe taken off and looked at by the doctors.
By the way, Gerald Hodges, who was helped off the field a moment ago, is back onto the field for the 49ers. Powell with running room across midfield into San Francisco territory at about the 47-yard line.
Powell bouncing it to the outside. He's going to get you see him take off to the left here. You see the seal made by the Jets and the block on the outside by Brandon Marshall. Yes, we're talking about Brandon Marshall and a good block in the run game. I like it, Brandon Marshall.
I'm going to tell him you said that.
You can. You can. That's not a strong suit of his. That's not one that he tends to do quite a bit.
Powell changes direction, gets a block on the outside and inside the 45 to the 44 where Hodges makes the play. Just a reminder for you, NFL on CBS is now on CBS All Access. Stream your local games live. Go to cbs.com/NFL now to try it free. Marshall back onto the field. Has to be one of the quieter games.
Oh, it definitely has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been. It's
still plenty of time for him to get involved. Petty. Sideline pass, and that is complete to the 35-yard line to Safarian Jenkins, the tight end.
Well, at some point in time, you understand what the Jets are doing. The times that they've tried to push the ball down the field, Petty hasn't had the time, and he's actually been sacked 4 times. Now they're trying to get the ball out of his hands much more quickly. You can see they're having success with that, but you're also going to get the defense to start playing that. You're going to get them to start. So at some point in time, especially trailing by 14, you got to try getting over the top.
Brandon Marshall down here on the near sideline one-on-one, but they'll go to the ground again. And Powell ducks inside the 35 to the 34. So if you're a quarterback and you look and you see Brandon Marshall is one-on-one, that's a point in your favor.
That is, and we talked to Bryce Petty about that last night because we've talked to Ryan Fitzpatrick about it over the last couple of seasons, and when he sees him one-on-one, that tends to be where Ryan Fitzpatrick goes. Sometimes that's a detriment because some of his interceptions have been trying to force the ball to Ryan Fitzpatrick. So Bryce Petty shared with us, he said, listen, if I see that one-on-one, I am going to look that way, but it also don't want to take away from the progression of what the play is that's called.
Petty under pressure, going down again for the 5th time. DeForest Buckner.
Well, Buckner's against Ajelana out on that left side or the blind side for Bryce Petty, and he's actually looking up the field trying to get to Brandon Marshall. Brandon had a route over the middle of the ball trying to find a window in there, and that's the negative. That's why they haven't thrown the ball upfield very much. They just haven't had the time. That time Buckner just whooping Ajelana around the edge.
Rocket.
3rd and 18.
Go.
And throwing deep down the far side of the field, and going up and making the catch is Robbie Anderson. It'll be 1st and goal at the 3.
Well, and when this ball was released, Greg, I thought Antoine Bethea was going to come over the top. He's in safety. He'll be coming from the right side of the screen. He looks like he's going up to get this interception. Robbie Anderson just climbing the ladder, getting up higher than Bethea can get, and taking the ball away.
Yeah, Antoine Bethea also thought he had an interception
He did.
lined up.
Your eyes get big at that point in time.
1st and goal from the 3.
Quick.
And all kinds of weird movement on the offensive line, and none of it legal. And that's Inunwa getting off the turf with a bit of a limp.
False start, offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
That's Brent Qualley. Inunwa got bumped into.
You see, the timing of that was just off. Bilal Powell was motioning out of the backfield, and the snap was supposed to occur right as he got to the outside leg of Ajelana so that he could run a rub route or a flat route to the outside off of the wide receiver. You could see the whole right side of the offensive line, and Inunwa thought the same thing as they all took off.
But you sure don't expect to get hit in the back in your own backfield. 1st and goal now from the 9. Slant, incomplete at the goal line. Intended for Inunwa, covered by Jimmy Ward.
This is just a hard play fake to the right, left in the view that we have, but Ward's sitting all over it.
So it'll be 2nd and goal. This drive now 6 minutes and 16 seconds for the Jets.
Rocket. Go.
That's Powell in motion. Petty pulls it down and goes down at the 20. Jaquasti Tart. And that is the 6th sack of Petty this afternoon.
Trying to get to the outside, to the right side. New signee Brandon Wilds just signed from the practice squad, number 34. That was his guy. You could see him move to the inside of the offensive line trying to pick up or help, but guy came clean off the right side. Petty looking out to the right, trying to get Brandon Marshall, but just not enough time to put it out.
You saw Brandon Bostic leaving the field. 3rd and goal from 18 yards out. They need the snap in a hurry, and he got it. And here comes pressure again. That's Powell. And Powell to the 11. And a penalty marker down on the far side of the field.
Ineligible man downfield. Offense number 67. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is 4th down.
So they decline the penalty, and the field goal unit comes onto the field for the New York Jets. There's a perfect opportunity to get back in the game with 1st and goal at the 3, and instead you wind up backing up for a 30-yard field goal attempt.
Well, and to think of it, yes, that's a negative thing. You get 1st and goal at the 3, and then you get bounced back a couple of times. But I think if you come out in the second half and you say, hey, we're going to stop the 49ers on their possession, we're going to go down and we're going to get points on the board, hopefully get things going their way if you're the Jets.
That kick stays inside the upright, and we have a penalty flag down.
Looks like the 49ers were offsides, jumped too
Offside.
early.
Defense, number 33. That penalty's declined. Field goal's good.
So Rashard Robinson guilty of the penalty and put 3 on the board for the Jets. It's 17-6 Niners. Bryce Petty working on a tough day, under 6.5 to play in the 3rd. Here's Brandon Marshall, usually the number 1 receiver on the day for the New York Jets. But he's had a tough day today. We'll talk about that in a moment. Corey Shepard will not run that out of the end zone, and they'll start at the 25-yard line. Let's take a look at 2 of the 32 Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year nominees. One of them is Jets wide receiver Brandon Marshall. Believes that his mission in life is his work in the mental health community. And 49ers wide receiver Torrey Smith hosted Conversations for Change at a Baltimore high school during his bye week. The winner will be announced at the NFL Honors on February the 4th.
I think it's tremendous what the league does in recognizing the different players from the different teams, and obviously Brandon Marshall and Torrey Smith doing a great job in the community.
Torrey Smith yet to be thrown to today. Probably because Carlos Hyde is having a field day running the football.
Well, they'll just continue to run the ball in between the tackles. They've had a lot of success with that, as we've mentioned several times here in the second half. Hyde just pounding away in the middle of that line and picking up nice chunks of yardage.
9 carries, 151 yards for Carlos Hyde. This one gets stopped at about the 30-yard line. When you put up a rushing attack like this against a New York Jets team that is highly respected around the league, whenever you talk to anybody playing the Jets, they say it all starts with their front 7.
Every team we've covered that has played the Jets, you talk about the defense, as you mentioned, Greg, they start with the guys up front, and they just you think about the last 4 games and even today, the amount of rushing yards the 49ers have been able to get.
Kaepernick going to run with it. First down, sliding down at the 37 or 38-yard line. And they always talk about whatever Colin Kaepernick's troubles are, he can run like a gazelle.
Well, and that's got to frustrate Todd Bowles and Casey Rogers. They told us yesterday. They said, listen, with Kaepernick, you got to keep him in the pocket. You let him outside. He has the ability to run. He has the ability to accelerate, and his long strides can get up the middle of the field, and that has to be a frustrating play right there on 3rd down.
On 1st down, Sean Drone straight ahead and out to about the 43-yard line. This game featuring 2 head coaches, both of whom are in the headlines and not for all the right reasons as far as they're concerned. Todd Bowles, only his 2nd year as head man of the Jets, and they're already talking about whether or not he will be back for a 3rd. And Chip Kelly only in his 1st year here in San Francisco. And as you heard Jason La Canfora on the NFL Today, his future is in question, and according to Jason, will be determined by a new general manager next year.
Well, that's always the nature of the business, especially this time of year when you've lost the number of games in a row that both these teams have lost. That's going to start the rumor mill and get the guys like Jason La Canfora that's their job, is to find that information out to get them talking.
Here's Chip Kelly. Talking with him, you really couldn't tell the 49ers came in with an 11-game losing streak. He was just as gung-ho as ever going about his job.
when I like getting into football talk with the guys, and Chip Kelly's offensive mastermind when you think of what he's been able to do at the college level and transfer it over to the pro level. So I had a lot of fun just talking X's and O's with him.
No, 25. 25.
Kaepernick now on 3rd and 6. Down the near sideline. Oh, leaping attempt by Torrey Smith, and he couldn't hold on. And he's still on the turf. And he's not moving.
No, that doesn't look good. You haven't seen him.
Just moved his foot.
Jump ball to the outside. Ooh. See the left side of his head hit the turf.
And he hit it hard, too. So they are still looking at Torrey Smith, and we'll take a break and update you on him.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Garmin Fitness. Let's beat yesterday. And by Honda. Hurry in for great deals during Happy Honda Days.
Back at Levi's Stadium, Torrey Smith is still down at the 31-yard line and being tended to. We did see some leg movement, but Trent, you were pretty convinced he could have been out cold after his head hit the turf.
Yeah, it looked like he wasn't moving a whole lot, but the fact that he's sitting up now, it looks like he's having conversations with the different medical staff. That's all a great sign.
Watch his head. Boom.
Well, they're going to bring a cart out. No need to have him walk off the field. And with the concussion protocol in place and the precautions that they're taking now, I have a hard time believing there's any chance of him returning to the game. But those are all good signs right there. The fact that they're moving his helmet around, they're not securing his neck, not securing his head. The fact that he's in conversation.
This coming with 3:22 to play in the third quarter.
Well, and having gone through this a couple times myself in my career, Greg, I know it's an emotional thing for his teammates, but also his family. We just talked about the fact that he's the nominee of the 49ers for the NFL Walter Payton Man of the Year at halftime or before the game, actually. Torrey's wife and kids were out on the field accepting the award or the recognition that he was receiving on behalf of the 49ers. So I know it's an emotional thing for the family as well, because I know my family had to deal with those same kind of things. So believe me, it gives them a great bit of relief seeing him move, seeing him have conversations, and now ultimately he's standing up and working his way over to the cart. So I know that gives them peace of mind.
When you suffered yours, dizziness, disoriented?
Oh yes. I was knocked unconscious on both of mine. So unfortunately, I was taken off the field a little differently than what Torrey is right there. I was on a board heading to a hospital, so a little bit different. But you can see his emotions there as he wipes away his eyes and covers up his head.
So we will, of course, keep you updated as best we can on Torrey Smith, who made a tremendous effort on the pass. Meanwhile, on 4th and 6, Nick Marshall is back for the punt, upcoming from Bradley Pinion. Fair catch call, and he let it bounce. And this will roll to arrest at about the 21-yard line.
Well, to move on to a football aspect of things, think of it now, that's 2 possessions the 49ers have had coming out of the half, and both of them, the Jets have stopped them and forced them to punt. So last possession, Jets got it down to 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line, had to settle for a field goal. Now let's see if they can go down and try and make this a 1-possession game.
13 out of 19 for 139 yards. And started again with Powell, and that will lose yardage, or maybe just get it back to the line of scrimmage. DeForest Buckner once again. Superb play on defense. Superb afternoon for DeForest Buckner.
He has been. We've mentioned him several times, and against the run and the pass, he's gotten pressure on. Even the sacks that he has of Petty. I know they've been impressed with their first-round pick.
So we've said the Jets want to get a good look at Bryce Petty, which is why he will start these last 4 games of the regular season. As Petty looks at a 2nd and 11. Sideline. Marshall with the catch. Did he stay in bounds? They're going to talk about it. And they say incomplete.
From high across the field here, Greg, it looked like he only had 1 foot in bounds. He doesn't get that second one down.
No. Pretty good readjustment on the pass by Marshall, but couldn't get the other foot in, so it'll be 3rd and 11.
You could argue whether or not that left toe was still on the ground when he got the ball, but he didn't have control of it as you saw him shift it from one hand to the other as he went out of bounds.
Here comes the pressure, here's the sideline throw, and that one is caught by Marshall. And this time, he's in bounds at the 40-yard line before he goes out, and that'll be a first down. They have penalty marker down on the far side.
You couldn't place that ball any better than Bryce Petty did over the outside shoulder of Brandon Marshall. So we're waiting on the flag on the other side of the field.
Illegal hands to the face. Defense number 26. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a first down.
Penalty is on Tremaine Brock, but here's the pitch and catch for Brandon Marshall.
Some hand check in there in the first couple yards, but look at the placement of that. That's not bad defense. That's just a perfectly thrown ball.
You want your mic?
Petty running out of time, throws it deep, far side of the field, and Marshall, there's a penalty marker in the backfield. Now Marshall is looking for a flag on his route, but there is none.
Yeah, I can't believe there's not a flag thrown down there. Marshall's coming back for the ball, and he's grabbed.
Offense, number 71. It's a 10-yard penalty. First down.
That penalty is on Ijalana, number 71.
Ijalana is going to be right up there. That's an easy call. And then here's the non-call against Brandon Marshall as he's trying to come back. Brock reaches out and grabs him with that left arm.
Incapacitates the left arm. How is that not a penalty?
I don't know how that's missed.
So it's 1st and 20.
Well, and instead of 1st and 20, that would be offsetting. It'd be back to 1st and 10. So that's a big no call.
Go!
Powell. And close to the 40-yard line. And gets about 10 of those back.
This is earlier in the game. It was Marshall. He's going to be on a corner route here, but watch the corner and the safety. He's going to go to the outside. He's going to come in here, so it's a double team, and that's where Bryce Petty is trying to get the football. He knows the coverage that he has, but then there's a defender that comes free and gets the sack. So even though Brandon Marshall, prior to these last couple plays where they've thrown to him quite a bit, he only had the one target and one catch in the first half.
No!
It's not that they haven't been looking his way. It's just the time to get it up the field to him.
Petty, and that one just too high for Marshall, who was covered. Marshall, incidentally, has become the 24th player in NFL history with more than 12,000 career receiving yards.
I think that ball maybe was tipped a little bit. He was trying to get that slant into Marshall. It looked like a hand almost got on it to knock it away.
3rd and 10. There's the information on Brandon Marshall. pulls it down, going to run with it, and looking for a first down. He's going to be about 5 yards short. And DeForest Buckner once again with the big play. Yeah, what do you see from Bryce Petty so far today? Holding the ball a lot, and maybe too much.
Well,
he's been sacked 6 times.
And if you look at Jim O'Neill, what he's doing defensively, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers, they've done a tremendous job of mixing things up. And that's really what you have to do with a young quarterback. You don't want them to get dialed in on what you're doing defensively. So there's plays they're only rushing 3. There's plays where they rush 6 or 7. There's plays where they line guys up and drop everybody out on one side and overload another side. So he hasn't been allowed to get in any kind of rhythm. When they've tried to push the ball up the field, he's been sacked 6 times on the day. So causing confusion with that offensive line and the protection schemes affects your quarterback.
Jeremy Curley with the fair catch. Kaepernick and company after this. 21 seconds to play here in the third. And a first down for Kaepernick at his own 19. And this is Hyde. And Hyde across the 20 to about the 23-yard line. And that may be the final play of the third quarter. Carlos Hyde is going to sleep well tonight. 12 carries, 154 yards. We've played 3. We're back to San Francisco after this message and a word from your local station. Back for the start of the fourth quarter, along with our producer Jim Rickoff, our director Suzanne Smith, Greg Gumbel, Trent Green, Jamie Erdahl at Levi Stadium. 17-6, 49ers with the ball and the lead. On 2nd and 7, this is Hyde once again. Lost the football. Jets had a chance to get it, but it appears the 49ers recovered and we have a penalty marker down. Quinton Patton got off the turf with the ball.
It's going to be holding on San Francisco as you see him looking to the sideline there to get.
Holding. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
Marcus Martin, guilty of the hold. That is a hold and a tackle.
Opportunity for the Jets to get the ball. You saw Patton jump on it there.
And Todd Bowles knows that could be a game changer.
Especially that field position.
Instead, it's 2nd and 17. Quick pass, far side. This is Curley. And Curley across the 20 to about the 22-yard line. Seeing as how the world's foremost Survivor fan is with me in the booth here. Wednesday on Survivor, the final battle in the culture war clash. 3 millennials versus 3 Gen X. Which generation will deliver the sole survivor? Don't miss the season finale, Trent. Followed by the live reunion show Wednesday at 8/7 Central, only CBS.
I won't miss any of it. I'll be watching all of it.
Got your popcorn.
I am. I'm a Survivor junkie, that's for sure.
And there's a penalty marker.
Neutral zone infraction. Defense, number 56. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
That's Freddie Bishop, newly signed from the practice squad.
Easy to see him jump there. And as you saw, he quickly ran off the field after giving up that 5 yards.
And that's no coincidence.
That's not a coincidence at all.
Kaepernick to throw on 3rd and 3. Pulls it down. Now over the middle, incomplete. Intended for Jeremy Curley. So the big gripe about the Jets the last week and a half or so has been whether or not their effort has been good. Do you see problems with that today?
I think it definitely hasn't been a lack of effort. I've liked their effort. Think of the fact that the San Francisco 49ers jumped up 14-0 about 2.5 minutes into this game. It was already 14-0. Now it's 17-6, and the defense has really rallied. Yes, they've given up a lot of yards on the ground, but that isn't because of effort. that's just because they've been out of position, and the 49ers have done a good job with it. But
Nick Marshall wrapped up as he made that catch. Fortunate he didn't lose the football. Rod Streeter making the tackle. 13:27 to play in the. There's Todd Bowles in his second season as the Jets head coach, and of course any conversation surrounding the Jets' perceived failure to be ready to play on Sunday is going to eventually get back to the coach and whether or not he should come back for another season.
Well, just to finish my thoughts on the effort part of it before that punt happened, if you look at the defense, Kaepernick was started off the game 8 of 9, and since then he's 4 of 11, so they've continued to try and put pressure on Kaepernick as we see the incompletion down the right sideline to Enunwa from Petty. But if the defense was going to give up, they would have gave up a long time ago when they were down 14-0. But there's been it's not a lack of effort or a matter of giving up. And an offense, it just hasn't gotten into any rhythm. You have to give credit to the 49ers and what they've done defensively, trying to mix things up on a young quarterback who's only in his second start, causing some confusion from a pass protection standpoint. We mentioned the number of offensive linemen that have been out for the Jets, and it just hasn't had any continuity on that side.
Go.
Bilal Powell running right side across the 40 and across the 45 for a first down. Meanwhile, Bryce Petty, he's had his hands full today.
Well, and this is the timing part I was talking about, the rhythm that you're trying to get into as a young quarterback. And when you're under pressure like this, you're going to see a number of different ways that he's under pressure. Secondary, linebackers, this time just a matter of one-on-one. Buckner beating Ijalana on the outside. So with those different combinations of pressure, it's been hard to push the ball up the field for Bryce Petty, and give credit to the 49ers. And that was a nice first down run by the Jets and give them another opportunity here.
Powell breaks a tackle or two, goes to the 46. It'll be second down. You ever have one of those days, 6 sacks?
Unfortunately, yes. Not very often in my career.
You must have been a real delight to deal with after the game.
Yeah, it's those aren't fun days. Those aren't fun days. And the days that you can't, like I said, you can't get in any rhythm, makes it difficult as well. But yeah, you just have to keep grinding out. You know, Bryce Petty, the first pass of the game was intercepted, and you just gotta put that behind you and just keep moving forward. He's done a good job of that.
2nd and 9, Powell again, and Powell across midfield to about the 48. That'll make it a 3rd and 3. Tonight, a news-making interview with the Prime Minister of Israel. Plus, how effective can TV commercials be? See the one that helped end the war. 60 Minutes tonight, only CBS. I know this. I know that Todd Bowles is well respected around the league, and there are a bunch of coaches around the league who feel that he's going to be a heck of an NFL head coach.
Well, and you also have to remember they won 10 games a year ago, so to pull the trigger on it that quickly wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But
Robbie Anderson,
you know, everybody has
to have enough for the first down.
And everybody has the speculation. Obviously, there's a lot of that going on, and they signal first down here, so the Jets will move the chains. But I know this is the time of year when everybody wants to speculate. I'd be really hard-pressed to think that Todd Bowles has to worry about his job just based on what he did a year ago, the injuries he's faced this year, the concerns and questions and number of quarterbacks that they've had to play. Yeah, I'd be hard-pressed to think that, but I know that rumor's out there.
Powell in the backfield on first down. They're going to give it to Robbie Anderson coming around this side, and he lost a yard. And once again, Gerald Hodges in the middle of the play.
Hodges left for a short time there in the first half because of injury, but his speed has been tremendous. How many times have we seen him flying around the backfield?
Well, there's more than just one guy playing well on defense, too. There's been Buckner. There's been Jimmy Ward.
Well, just think of the injuries on that side that they're without. Navarro Bowman, Ray Armstrong, Eric Armstead, the first rounder from 2 years ago.
Petty with time. And that's Anderson through his hands inside the 30-yard line.
Well, Antoine Bethea, the one breaking it up, but that's a ball that Anderson has to catch. You're trying to throw that into a cover 2 look where you have a rolled corner and you have a safety over the top, so you're trying to hit that corner route in between the window, hits you in both hands, you got to bring that in.
We talked with Antoine Bethea, and he was telling us that I asked him if it's tough to come in here in a losing environment. He says, yeah, he got used to winning when he was in Indianapolis.
Yeah, it's something as a veteran and as a leader, he just tries to bring those habits and those practice tendencies to be a good influence on the younger players.
Yeah.
3rd and 11.
Go.
Running out of time, throws, that's complete. Marshall inside the 40, looking for yardage, and finally pounded out of bounds at about the 38-yard line. That's about 3 yards short of a first down.
Well, Marshall's slow to get up over on that sideline. I think this is the area of the field that you end up going for it on 4th down.
Bryce Petty is still on the field.
You know, you think if you make this field goal, that makes it a one-possession game. It would make it an 8-point game, but you're not guaranteed. It ended up being about a 56, 57-yarder.
Did you see Chip Kelly grab Brandon Marshall by the arm and say a few words to him before he went back onto the field? I think Brandon might have gotten up with a little anger. Brandon's still trying to shake things off, and he's going to come off the field. Well, we have a moment. Remind you, coming up after the game, time permitting, it's the Subway post-game show. JB and the guys back in New York with the latest scores and highlights all coming up on the Subway post-game show. So 4th down and 2. And the Jets will go for it. Bilal Powell, the running back, in the slot to the top of your screen. Enunwa in motion.
Go.
Petty in trouble. Throwing. That's complete. Inside the 30-yard line to Charon Peak. And that's a first down.
Well, and Peak was covered initially. It's just when the scramble happened, the defense reacts. Peak will be coming from the left side. You can see he's covered, but as Petty steps up in the pocket, he scrambles. That's when Peak is able to get open. Jimmy Ward drops coverage and rushes up to try and make the tackle, and that allows Peak to get open.
Jets had 1 first down in the first quarter. They've had 14 since. Powell. Not much happening there. Glenn Dorsey with the stop. We go to New York for an NFL Today update. JP and Coach.
All you need say is Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, his 3rd touchdown pass of the day. 2nd one here to Jordy Nelson. They are all over the Seattle Seahawks. Russell Wilson, 4 interceptions on the day. Green Bay leads 28-3 in the 3rd.
And all I need to say is Greg Gumbel.
Boy, don't you just love those guys who were counting Aaron Rodgers down and out about 3 weeks ago?
Well, did I hear them say Russell Wilson has 4 interceptions on the day? I don't know if he's had a day like that in his career.
Petty over the middle, and that's complete. And breaking inside the 20 into the 15 is Austin Seferian-Jenkins. Brandon Marshall coming back onto the field now. And this was the big pileup on the sideline. Oh, and there's the ankle underneath.
Yeah, Ward falling down on the back of that left ankle. But Seferian-Jenkins, what a tremendous effort on that last play. He was about 5 yards short of the first down and ripped through 3 tackles.
Bryce Petty called
to
him
pick
a
up the
stud,
first down.
didn't he?
Yeah, that's it.
Petty, Powell to the 10. And spinning forward to about the 6th. Jaquaski Tart, who has been active in that San Francisco secondary.
We talked about the injury that Marshall had a couple plays ago when Ward fell on the back of his leg. But here the screen, you see Marshall comes off the line trying to bait Ward, and then all of a sudden as he sees the play go, well, I guess, yeah. He ended up going up to Ward, and and attacked him, and his helmet flew off on the hit. It was a pretty spectacular thing just to see him. He was trying to bait him into it, and then he goes up and hits him, and his helmet flew off.
Oh, nowhere to go. Nowhere to go, lost yardage. So it'll be 3rd and goal. Clock continues to move, 6:15 to play in the 4th. Jets down by 11.
Hey, 50's your bike! Hold! Hold 50! Hey, he ain't even 50 winners. Go!
Petty gonna run it to the 5. And it'll be 4th and goal from the 5. It almost looked like a run all the way, Trent.
No, that'll be a first down. That'll be a first and goal.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Yep. It almost looked like it was a set quarterback run, didn't it? The way they had it set up. And if you watch the receivers go out in their routes, they really weren't with a lot of urgency. It was almost like they were just trying to draw the bodies away from the middle of the field. So I'm pretty set that was a called run, and Bryce Petty was able to pick it up.
So Petty with the first down, 1st and goal now from the 5. Powell behind him in the backfield. And Powell shakes one tackle, fights his way to the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, and right now Brandon Marslow's out there just strictly as a decoy. As that ball was snapped, he was up on the far right side, just walked off the line of scrimmage. Not a whole lot of effort getting pushed off that ankle, but Powell, what a tremendous effort ripping through arm tackles. That'll get reviewed. It looked like maybe that left knee went down before the ball broke the plane. I know all scoring plays are reviewed. It'll be interesting to see where that ball was as that left knee went down.
So you see him reaching forward for the goal line with the ball. The question is, as you said, did it break the plane before his knee went down?
Hard to tell from that angle. I don't see anything that could overturn it. Officials are still waiting for final word before they allow the Jets, who are set to go for a 2-point try.
If the touchdown stands, the 2-point try would give the Jets an opportunity to tie with a field goal. And it has been confirmed a touchdown. Jets have gone 106 games since their last 2-point conversion. Goes all the way back to 2010 season. They're 0 for 6 since their last one. Petty trying to shake the tackler, and he makes it into the end zone.
You know, we talked about his size last night, Greg, when we had a chance to meet him. 6'3", 220 pounds, 230 pounds. He showed his strength on that play.
Shook off Ahmad Brooks, the veteran linebacker. And the Jets are within 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. It's always a great gift on Verizon. The Quicksilver Card from Capital One. And by the new 2017 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Jeep free to be.
Some of the men and women in our terrific CBS Sports crew here in Santa Clara this afternoon. 17-14, 49ers look like they're expecting an onside kick.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me at this point in time. 5 minutes to go. You have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. I would imagine the Jets are kicking deep.
And they are, and Curley will not have a chance to bring this one back. It bounces into and through the end zone for the touchback. So 5:04 to play in the 4th. 17-14 San Francisco. How the two quarterbacks have performed today?
Well, and if you look at Bryce Petty, the start that he had, he's had a good recovery when you look at his numbers. And then Colin Kaepernick started off fast with the touchdown pass on the first throw and has since slowed down here in the second half.
Carlos Hyde gets outside of the defense and gets himself a first down at the 36-yard line. The mission for the 49ers here is clear. Use up the clock.
Use up the clock as much as you possibly can. So far in the second half, the 49ers, prior to that snap, only had 11 plays for 34 yards. This is the time of the game when you're trying to work it down. Now that the Jets have made this a field goal game, use up as much time as you can. Try and get the Jets to use their timeouts and ultimately go down and get some points.
See 164 yards for Carlos Hyde, a season high. It's 4 short of a career high. And this is Hyde. Stopped at about the 35, 36-yard line. Doubleheader day next Sunday as the NFL on CBS brings you the Steelers and the Bengals, the Titans and the Chiefs, and the Colts and the Vikings in the early window, followed by Tom Brady and the Patriots against the Denver Broncos in an AFC Championship rematch. It all begins at noon Eastern time with JV and the guys on the NFL Today. Second and 10. 3:45 to play in the fourth. And Kaepernick just taking time off the clock. Hyde again. For a couple, and we get a penalty flag thrown. Getting Todd Bowles' thoughts, which means this will be against San Francisco.
Holding. Offense, number 77. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Check in with Jamie downstairs.
Greg, 2 different weapons out, one for each offense. We update from the third quarter, these injuries happened. First, the tight end for the Jets, Brandon Bostic, out with an ankle injury. And, of course, Torrey Smith out for the game with that concussion that he was carted off for earlier today.
All right, Jamie, thank you. Second and 20 for the 49ers. And this will be Hyde again, trying to break away. Can only make it out close to the 30-yard line. Time for another NFL Today update, JB and Coach.
Falcons doing it every which way.
Yeah, watch Vic Beasley down here in the bottom. He's going to get the sack, the fumble, and the touchdown. Rookie Jared Goff has 3 sacks, 2 interceptions, and the Atlanta Falcons all over LA 42-0.
Back to Greg and Trent.
All right, thank you guys. In that NFC South, Atlanta trying to take a step forward. We saw them last week lose a heartbreaker of a game to the Kansas City Chiefs.
That crazy 2-point going for 2 to make it a field goal game, and had the return by Eric Berry.
Kaepernick to Sean Drone, and he's brought down at the 25-yard line. Sheldon Richardson making the defensive play, and so the Jets get the defensive stop they need with 2:42 remaining in the fourth. San Francisco punt formation after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by PlayStation. Every day is the big game on PlayStation. Greatness awaits. And by Subway. Try the classic Reuben, stacked with corned beef. Limited time only.
Welcome back, everyone. A reminder, time permitting, coming up after the game, the Subway post-game show, JB and the guys, for all the latest scores and highlights and playoff updates, all coming up on the Subway post-game show. Nick Marshall is deep. Made the fair catch call, and the catch at the 35-yard line. So now, Bryce Petty, the last time he had the football.
Well, this is why the Jets are so high on him. When you consider the game started off with an interception and they were down 14 points, this last drive he put together a heck of an effort, not only to get him down the field to score, but then also to get the 2-point conversion to make this thing a field goal game. 2.5 to go, got the 2-minute warning, 2 timeouts. He's recovered very well from that initial pass.
Time of possession in the second half, greatly favoring the New York Jets. Quick pass to the outside, scooped off the turf by Quincy Enunwa. Looking for the first down and will be marked out about a yard short. Nick Folk. Getting loose, hoping for a chance to tie this game.
Well, and it all of a sudden brings back into play the two misses by Dawson in the first half. The 44-yarder and the 48-yarder had plenty of leg. One pulled left and one pushed right.
Apple. Yeah, get 6 7. Go.
2nd and 1. The pitch for Powell. Cuts it back, gets the first down across midfield into 49er territory at the 48-yard line. 2:20 to play. Jets have 2 timeouts remaining. San Francisco, all 3 of theirs.
Not sure they'll get this thing snapped off as Enunwa is slow to get up and get over to get set.
They do get it off. Petty, this side of the field, that is complete to Robbie Anderson, and Anderson out at about the 40-yard line, and it'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. 1:55 actually to play. 17-14 49ers. Well, at the very least, Todd Bowles wants a game-tying field goal, but ideally he'd like a go-ahead touchdown.
Well, and I think it's important to get the first down here. I would say on 2nd and short, maybe do a play-action pass and take a shot to the end zone, but I think it's more important to try and get a first down here, get a new set of downs, try and get this thing closer if you do have to try a field goal.
Powell, first down and then some, 35, 30-yard line. Clock continues to move, 1:45 to play.
Watch the individual effort by Powell as he dips underneath the tackle, gets the first down. And the reason for saying that is we were watching Nick Folk during warm-ups. He was trying 55, 56-yard field goals, and he wasn't having much luck in making those. So getting the first down makes this thing even closer.
Setting up the screen for Powell, and Powell to the 25 and down to the 22-yard line. Penalty marker down on the far side of the field, and this is going to go against the Jets.
They're going to call illegal formation on the Jets, I believe.
Illegal formation. Offense. The wide receiver covered up the tight end. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
So that wipes out the gain. A reminder for you, those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, this is the NFL on CBS, and our game between the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers with Trent Green and Jamie Erdahl. I'm Greg Gumbel. It is 17-14 in favor of the Niners. 60 Minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately after this game, except here on the West Coast, where it'll be seen at its regularly scheduled time.
Well, Greg, and I'm all for going for the win. You've got 1 minute and 20 seconds. You're on the road. You've lost 4 games in a row. Go for the win, but you also don't want to be overly aggressive with a young quarterback.
This is Brandon Wild, who takes it inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. 1:10, and the clock is moving. 2nd and 13.
Well, and you also know that if you don't ultimately get the first down, don't get in position, you don't want to leave any time for the 49ers to get the ball back and try and move down the field either.
Petty pulls it down on the move and runs for the sideline, knocked out, and a penalty marker flies. Jimmy Ward applied the hit, and that's going to move the Jets even closer to a potential game-tying field goal. Didn't make sense, Trent.
No, it doesn't make sense. It's a huge mental mistake. You see Petty's a little shaken up.
There's no foul on the play. The quarterback was ruled inbounds. 3rd down.
That's about as much emotion as you'll see out of Todd Bowles. Not happy with the decision is all. Determined if the contact was made inbounds. The initial contact, his foot hadn't hit out of bounds yet, so that's what the officials are calling. Watch Enunwa here. Enunwa's going to get down, and he's going to be open as Petty scrambles to the outside. He just never is able to see him. Watch as he breaks the pocket here. He gets to the outside, and Enunwa is open. If he was able to loft it into the end zone, he missed that as he was trying to get out of bounds.
So instead of the big gain, it's 3rd and 12 for the Jets. Going to go deep. Incomplete at the goal line. Intended for Robbie Anderson. Tremaine Brock was covering. It'll be 4th and 12, and here comes the field goal unit.
This looks like it's going to be right at about 50 yards for this attempt.
Nick Folk will line this one up on the far hash mark from 50, looks like it'll be 51 yards out.
And Greg, going back to that no call on the hit out of bounds, I don't agree with it. I thought he was making a clear effort to get out of bounds. Yes, he was elevated above the line.
This for the tie. And it is good. The Jets have come all the way back to a 17-17 tie.
Started to draw a little bit left. It looked like it may end up hooking too far left. Petty's fired up. Think about the attitude and the effort the Jets had to give to get back in this game. Down 14-0 after about 2.5 minutes into the game. Falling behind by 2 touchdowns early on, and no give, no quit in this team.
I want to remind you, tonight on CBS begins with an interview with the Prime Minister of Israel, followed by the Dick Van Dyke Show, Madam Secretary, and Elementary tonight, only CBS. Let me ask you what you think the attitude is on the 49ers sideline right now.
Go for the win right here. You've got timeouts. You've got 3 timeouts. You've got 38 seconds.
But here's a team that all afternoon has looked at breaking an 11-game losing streak, and the lead has gone by the boards here for the moment.
Well, you know, you and I were here a couple weeks ago when they played New England, and they looked really good in the first 2 quarters, even 3 quarters into the game. It was only a 3-point game going into the 4th quarter. So this team has shown flashes, just like they showed flashes in the first half when they amassed nearly 300 yards of offense. But in the second half, they've just gone flat on both sides of the football. Now it's a matter of them to respond here and try and go down and get in position to win this thing.
They have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. Shepard will not run this one out of the end zone. Meanwhile, you mentioned earlier about Phil Dawson and what he didn't do.
Yeah, he had a 44-yarder in the first half. Their first 5 possessions, they scored touchdowns on their first 2 possessions. Then possession number 3 and possession number 4, 44-yarder hooked left. 48-yarder, he pushed right. Vital points at this stage of the game. Vital missed points at this stage of the game.
So Kaepernick and company at the 25-yard line. 38 seconds on the clock, 3 timeouts remaining. Kaepernick throwing incomplete. Intended for Chris Harper. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, David Harris putting pressure on Kaepernick there, so he wasn't able to sit and wait for the receiver to get open. He had to anticipate. Threw that ball with some heat. Ended up on the back shoulder, and you have to be careful here also if you're the 49ers. We mentioned it with the Jets when they had the ball. You don't want to be too risky here. You don't want to all of a sudden put yourself in a situation where you turn the ball over and the Jets get good field position.
The blitz got rid of it, incomplete. Forced the hurried throw, and he overthrew Harper. It'll be 3rd and 10. The Jets, with the worst 2-minute offense in the National Football League, had managed just 14 points in the final 2 minutes, came up with the 3 they needed to tie this game.
Well, the Jets not sitting back defensively and just playing catch. A lot of times defensive coordinators or defensive-minded head coaches will play a prevent, try and keep everything in front of them and come up and make the tackle. The Jets have some blitzes on the first 2 downs.
This is Drone. And Drone wrapped up at the 28-yard line, and a timeout is called. And the fans a bit upset with the ground game on 3rd down.
Well, and they should be. You understand why they did it. You wanted to force the Jets to call a timeout. If you end up throwing a ball, getting an incompletion, that stops the clock. Then the Jets have 2 timeouts instead of the 1 that they have left.
And you just mentioned the last thing they want to do is turn the ball over down at this end of the field.
Correct, and they tried on the first 2 plays. They tried making short throws. It wasn't like they were trying to extend the field. The first throw was about a 5-yard throw. The second throw was about 7 or 8 yards, trying to find those windows in the defense, but the Jets just not allowing it with the pressure they applied to Kaepernick.
And it's an offense, the 49ers offense, that has gone sideways in the second half and managed just 2 first downs.
Well, this return all of a sudden becomes vital. Do you go for the block and try and get in the field position? I think the higher percentages weigh on trying to set up a return and give your team some room.
Nick Marshall, fair catch at the 32. 18 seconds on the clock. Jets with 1 timeout. And Nick Folk, 35 yards to get him within range.
Well, we just saw him make that 50-yarder, and he didn't make it by a lot. So we mentioned the fact we saw him try 55, 56 in warm-ups and didn't have enough leg on that. So the target line at the 35 would make that about a 53-yarder. You've got a timeout so you can utilize the whole field here, but once again, you can't be too risky with it. You don't want to risk the turnover at this part of the field.
Petty with time over the middle, and that's across midfield. Is that a catch? Incomplete.
Oh, they had 2 officials marking it as complete, and they were setting the mark, and then the official from the back came in and said it hit the ground.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass.
Inside of 2 minutes, it's automatically reviewed up top.
Meanwhile, right tackle Brent Qualley just limped off the field for the Jets.
Here's a third look at it. Let's see if it... You can see the cone of the football hit the turf there. That clearly hit the ground from that angle.
"13 seconds.
Straight. Hey, straight, yeah, come on. Straight, y'all got 50, you got 36 cards.
Looks like basically a 3-man rush for the 49ers here. And they're going to give it to Powell. And Powell looking for the sideline and out of bounds at about the 36 with 7 seconds to play.
Well, we already mentioned the number of offensive linemen starters that they're without today. The Jets, 2 of their linemen out today. And then Qualley going out on the last play. So to sit here and say you're going to have your quarterback, your young quarterback, drop back and hold on to the ball for a long time to try and throw it down the field, that's a conservative approach, but I think at this stage that's probably the smartest approach. The Jets are going to call timeout.
Yep, Petty's going to head to the sideline, and the Jets will use their 3rd and final timeout. Well, we've talked about Bryce Petty's arm all day, so a Hail Mary will definitely get him down into the general area. Or the other option is to just run the game and run the clock out.
Well, and I think if you were going to do that, you would have ran a play and then saved that last timeout for the launch into the end zone. Even though it would be 4th down, you know, let's say you pick up 3-4 yards, use the last timeout. He has the arm to throw it that far. If that was the plan, I think they would have managed the last couple seconds a little bit differently than what they've done here. Because now, if you don't make it, if you pass the ball and you don't make it, or even if you run the ball, the 49ers have plenty of timeouts. They can force a punt here.
49ers with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. And they're going to run it. This is Powell. And Powell for a first down, but time will run out on them.
Yeah, you get that first down, there's no need for the 49ers to call the timeout.
So Chip Kelly and the 49ers still trying to snap that 11-game losing streak. Here's the overtime rules. 1 15-minute period. Touchdown or a safety on the first possession wins. If the score is tied after each team's first possession, then the next score wins the game. Each team has 2 timeouts, and everything is reviewed by the booth. Are we clear on that?
Well, and it's, you think about how this game just played out. It really, the way it started out with the interception on the first pass play. I'm sitting here, I paused because I was looking, the entire 49ers sideline is yelling at the officials because Nick Folk went out on the field to work on field goals and work at the different angles, and they yelled because you can't do that. As you're getting ready for overtime, you can't be out on the field practicing field goals. So that drew my attention there as you see him walking off the field.
He did it.
They got him off there before he got some kicks. But
Captains, we will play a maximum of 1 15-minute overtime period. If the first team with possession scores a touchdown, the ball game will be over. You're allowed 2 timeouts. All replay reviews will be from the booth. 4th quarter timing rules apply. New York, you get to call it. You called tails. It is heads. San Francisco wants to receive. Which goal do you want to defend? Turn that way. San Francisco will receive to start the overtime. Good luck, captains.
The 11th overtime game in the NFL this season. We're back with OT after this. So the 49ers will get their hands on the football first. Colin Kaepernick started this game 7 for 7 for 95 yards and a touchdown. Since then, he has completed 6 for 16 and just 25 yards. Jet defense has played the way it's been expected to, and this kick will sail into the end zone, and Ja'Cory Shepherd will down it there. It has been an interesting game from the get-go. Kaepernick with the touchdown pass to Carlos Hyde and Phil Dawson. And this to the left. Fighting his way to the end zone. Bryce took a little Powell, and then Petty with the 2-point conversion, and then Nick Folk with the 51-yard field goal to tie things up.
Would have never guessed after a couple minutes into this game, it was 14-0 San Francisco that we'd be heading into overtime, but great effort, great comeback by the Jets.
Kaepernick complete. Forward progress marked to the 30-yard line for Garrett Selleck, the tight end.
Well, and really on one side, you're talking about a young quarterback in Bryce Petty, how he responds to it. On the other side, you're talking about a head coach who's in his first year in San Francisco, just trying to set a tone and send a message with what he wants done with his football team.
This is Hyde to the outside, breaks through, cross midfield and bounced out of bounds by Rontez Miles. What a day running the football Carlos Hyde has had. 25 yards on that carry, and a total on the day of 193 yards rushing.
Well, and coming into today, Greg, he only had one 100-yard rushing game on the season, that being earlier this year against Seattle. So a breakout game for Carlos Hyde today.
Sean Drone replaces him from the 45 of the Jets. Drone. No gain on the play. Deion Simon wraps him up at the line of scrimmage. What a job by Carlos Hyde today.
It has been tremendous. Look at that. Just that 7 yards receiving is the touchdown, or part of that is the touchdown catch he had on the first possession.
What's he tired for? 2nd and 10. Kaepernick on the slant, incomplete.
That may
be 3rd and 10.
Well, that may be the first time all day we've seen Darrelle Revis make a play. They haven't thrown in his direction.
I don't believe we've said his name today.
Gets that left arm in there and knocks it away.
So 3rd and 10. And again, this Jet defense has come up huge in the second half.
Hey, Ray, go! Hey, Ray, go!
Kaepernick, quick pass, and on the slant, that is complete, but that's short of a first down. Chris Harper made the diving catch. He's short by about 1.5 yards. And what does Chip Kelly do here?
Yeah, this is that gray area. You could go for the 54-yarder. You could punt it to try and pin them down in there. If you go for it and miss it, you're giving the Jets great field position. And right now it looks like Chip Kelly is going to go for it and give the ball to Hyde with his 193 yards rushing. See if he can't pick up another yard and a half.
Hyde is deep in the backfield. Hyde with the football and doesn't look like he made it. The Jets put the stops on him at the 37-yard line. Well, there wasn't much mystery about who was going to get the football.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot. I actually thought that Kaepernick was going to yank that ball and keep it around to the outside, but Calvin Pryor came down in the box to the outside. I'm sure that's what, if that's a read for Kaepernick, and those reads are usually off the defensive end or the outside linebacker that's there, but the outside linebacker defensive end collapsed on it. Pryor was the help behind it. He was there, so you hand the ball off, and nice stop by the Jets defensive line.
So now the Jets with a shot. Bilal Powell in the backfield. He gets the handoff and looking for running room, spinning to just across the 40-yard line. DeForest Buckner.
Well, and just as we were talking about Bryce Petty and the recovery he made, think about what Bilal Powell has done. Forte came into this game as a starter. He got hurt early on. All of a sudden, Powell's been the workhorse, 25 carries, 107 yards as they try and get Folk into position, which now would be the game winner.
Ace to 50.
Each team gets an opportunity to possess the ball, which the 49ers just had. So any score at this point in time, the game would be over.
Powell. First down. Close to midfield. Nick Bellore making the stop for the 49ers. And Bilal Powell, as you said, has been exceptional in relief of Matt Forte.
And really, it's been mainly in the second half. If you think of how the Jets have turned things on in the second half, first half they only had 118 total yards. In the second half in overtime, 218 yards. So, and even running the ball, 90 yards in the second half. So Powell's turned things up here at the end of the game.
Powell with his second career 100-yard game rushing. Has 115. Petty getting outside, sets himself up, throws over the middle, and that is caught at the 25-yard line. Robbie Anderson with the grab.
What a gutsy throw by Bryce Petty. One of the things as a quarterback you learn is when you're rolling one direction to throw back across your body. This is a gutsy throw. He's running out to his left. He plants and throws back across the field, but he puts it up high where only Anderson can get it, and you can see he's pumped up about that throw and, of course, about that catch.
Told us that Robbie Anderson is the receiver he is most familiar with. Robbie Anderson, the leading receiver, 6 for 99 yards today. Play clock down to 5, and they call a timeout.
Well, the one thing Petty told us also is he can be too aggressive. He said, listen, I have a lot of confidence in what I can do. I have a lot of confidence in the throws I can make. He said sometimes that's to a detriment because I try squeezing things in there. That time it came up big with an accurate throw down the field.
And he rolled left on that play and then had to turn himself around to get the throw away.
And that's a difficult throw to make. That's having a lot of confidence in your receivers, and that's having a lot of confidence in your arm strength and your accuracy. And he came up big.
Robbie Anderson, a 6'3", 190-pound rookie free agent out of Temple. Next score wins this game. The Jets at the San Francisco 25. Powell. Loss of a helmet and the gain of about 1.5 yards.
Well, this is the part of the field as a defense where you try and bring pressure, you try and bring blitzes because you want to affect the field goal distance. And so when you do that as a defense, you're also susceptible to the big play because you go more man-to-man coverage. So as a play caller, you have to put all those things, you have to factor those things in. Do I all of a sudden go max protection and try and give more time if I'm going to take that shot up the field, or do you stay conservative and just try and work the field position that you have?
I was about to ask you, would you take an end zone shot here?
I would. I'm aggressive. I would definitely do that.
And we get motion up front.
False start. Offense. Number 71. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
They said 71. It looked like it might have been James Carpenter moving early.
Second and 13 at the 28-yard line.
And that's who it was.
Yeah, right there, Carpenter.
So now it's second and 13.
You see how he turned and looked at Petty like it was his fault? Brian's like, what are you doing? You're the one that jumped. What do you mean? But that's a crucial penalty right now. Now if you don't get any more yardage, you're talking 46, 45 yards from a field goal standpoint. So you need to try and get some of these yards back.
We'll go to Powell. And Powell running room on the right side. Bulls his way inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Well, and that's the risk you take if you bring that many bodies down in the box. It's like the offensive play where you get a 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and everybody gets to the line. All of a sudden you get the big crease, you get the big run. That's exactly what happens as the right side of the line created a lane. And Powell picked up the nice chunky yards.
3rd and 3.
Charlie.
Well, within field goal range, just get everybody set.
Go.
Penalty marker flies as Powell goes left side to the 10, to the 5, touchdown! Let's check the flag.
They're going to say a Nunwa. Oh, actually, it looks like a lined up in the neutral zone. They're going to call it on 49ers, so the game would be over.
Defense, number 55. That penalty declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
And the New York Jets snap their 4-game losing streak, win number 4 of the year, and hand the San Francisco 49ers a 12th straight loss.
Well, that's a tremendous comeback for the Jets as they were down 14-0 early on in this game with the young quarterback Bilal Powell with a huge day for the Jets, 145 yards rushing and the game-winning touchdown there, but what a big blow to the 49ers, blowing that 14-point lead.
How about Bryce Petty and Todd Bowles? The flight back home tonight will have a few more smiles.
Yeah, it definitely will. You can see Bryce Petty and Colin Kaepernick talking right there, but Bryce Petty can't say enough about the effort he put together and the way he was able to respond from those early mistakes.
Once again, the Jets in overtime over the 49ers 23-17 tonight on CBS at 60 Minutes, followed by the Dick Van Dyke Show, Madam Secretary and Elementary. For Trent and Jamie, for all of us here in Santa Clara, Greg Gumbel saying so long from Levi's Stadium. Thanks for joining us, everyone. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.